What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news for you concerning Eddie Hearn. I was looking at a video this morning, and it was by the Boxing Voice, and of course they were interviewing Eddie Hearn, and the topic was about Dillian Whyte and what his next step was going to be after his win over Joseph Parker, and Eddie Hearn was, talking about Dillian Whyte and his possibilities and the fights that he could have. And he was admitting in this interview that Luis Ortiz was a dangerous fight, but holds no value, or no marquee value, and I just want to talk about that right now, man. First of all, I feel that Luis Ortiz has just a name as Dillian Whyte. The only difference is Dillian Whyte is a British fighter, and since he's a British fighter, he's more well known, okay, because he's in an area, or in a country rather, that loves boxing. It's a more popular sport in the UK than in the USA, okay? And him fighting Luis Ortiz and Eddie Hearn saying that he admits he was a dangerous fighter just shows they didn't want that fight. That's him really, if you read between the lines, that's Eddie Hearn saying, hey, you know what? He's a dangerous opponent and he holds no value. So basically what you're saying is, no, I'm not going to fight him because my fighter could lose to him, and the reward versus the risk is not parallel to what I want. See, he fought Joseph Parker, and Joseph Parker was just coming off a loss, right? Well, so is Luis Ortiz. So he could have very easily fought him. He had no merit in fighting Parker. Parker didn't have the belt anymore. So it wasn't really any, it wasn't necessary for him to fight Parker. It looks like to me he picked the easiest fight in fighting Parker than Luis Ortiz. And then he got dropped by Parker anyhow. So it's like them saying that, Luis Ortiz is dangerous but holds no merit. And that's Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is a promoter of Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua. Well, you guys can remember that Eddie Hearn signed Luis Ortiz at one point, okay? And he signed him to Matchroom Boxing, and he had to release him because they did not want to fight Luis Ortiz. So not only did Dillian Whyte, he didn't want Dillian Whyte fighting Ortiz. He didn't want Joshua fighting Ortiz either, because Ortiz was going to get the winner out of Klitschko and Joshua. And then he was up again. He got the opportunity to fight Wilder. He lost to the Wilder fight, but it was one hell of a fight. If Klitschko was still fighting right now, he would lose no merit in losing to Joshua. You know what I mean? He had a rematch clause. He just decided not to fight. That was his own decision. But Luis Ortiz is in the same position as Klitschko, because they both lost that fight by knockout, but it was a spectacular knockout. It was a hell of a fight. So it was like one of those fights where, hey, Luis Ortiz might have lost, but he didn't lose any value just because he took an L from Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody has beat Wilder's undefeated. He's a knockout artist. He's been knocking out everybody he's ever fought. So, and then to get in there and do what you did with Wilder that no one ever done, mind you, that holds merit. So I don't see where Eddie Hearn comes off saying, hey, well, he doesn't hold merit, and he's not a big enough draw for Dillian Whyte, and we're looking at other things. There's nothing actually that I could say that, or a reason why that should be Dillian Whyte would skip the Luis Ortiz fight. I don't see that. I don't see how that could have happened or why that could have happened. So I don't get it. But I think, just outside looking in, Hearn wants to protect his fighters. He wants his fighters in the highest possible position. That's why he wanted Dillian Whyte to fight Wilder, because he wants Dillian Whyte to have a belt. That makes sense. But there's levels to this. You know, if the next step was to fight Ortiz, that's who he should have fought, okay? And the same for Joshua. Joshua should have fought Luis Ortiz a couple years ago, at least last year. He should have fought him last year, especially after the Klitschko fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he was up for that fight. He was the mandatory for that fight. Now he's the mandatory White, and White ducked him too. So, yeah, they're ducking Luis Ortiz, you know, because they don't want to get in there with a tough opponent. But sometimes you got to grab your balls and fight the best fights. You know what I'm saying? And that would be my recommendations for Dillian White and Anthony Joshua, because, you know, we don't know how the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder thing's going to go. We don't know. We don't know how that's going to go. So if Deontay Wilder does not fight Anthony Joshua in April, he has to have an opponent, a worthy opponent. You know, so I think that he should, if Dillian White wants to duck Ortiz still, I think Joshua should give that opportunity to Luis Ortiz. But that's my take on it, man. That's what I believe, and I think that's the best possible fight that can happen for Joshua if Joshua can't get that, you know, because he can't fight Fury. What, you know, and if Fury gets knocked out by Wilder, but no one knows what's going to happen in that fight. You know, the next person available would be Luis Ortiz, and you should go in there and take that fight with Luis Ortiz and see who's the best guy. You know, they're both Olympians. They both have that boxing IQ, and, you know, I think they both big bangers. One's a conventional, the other one's a southpaw. You know, and the fight should have happened anyway, so I think it's unfinished business. So that itself, and, you know, and he, you know, one of those guys have fought Wilder, so that's another barometer to see how good Joshua can do if he can get past Luis Ortiz. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this particular video. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.